So I'm busy making a leather bifold wallet, and on the previous video I showed how I lay up my patterns and how I get clean cuts on the leather. By the way guys, we have made this pattern available on our website with a full instruction, photographs and extra details. But today I'm busy scarving down the pockets. So I want to take a little bit of time to show you why scarving is so important, how to get some clean scarves, and just how different it can make the end product that you're getting done. Before we get started though, if you're new to the channel, my name is Tarek. I've been a full-time artisan for many years now, and my work in both leather and knives, like you see behind you and like this one right here, have gone around the world. And this channel is all about those little tips and tricks that'll hopefully help you along on your own artisanal journey. So at its most basic, scarving is thinning out a portion of the piece of leather that you're working on. This is one of the card pockets for the bifold wallet I'm on, and you can see I've scarved around the complete edge of that pocket. Now what that does is it takes a thick mass of leather, which would be the edge of this bifold, and with scarving turns it into a much more visually appealing product in my opinion, but a much more comfortable product to put in your pocket as well. They say it's the simplest things that help us get the biggest results in our life. So here's 3 simple tips to help you improve your scarving. So tip number 1 is use a thick piece of granite, marble or glass. I've seen a lot of pictures over the years where guys are using a very, very thin piece of glass and their hand is trapped completely without any movement on top of that piece of glass on their table. So if you get a thick piece of granite, marble or glass, you can move your product to the edge, and this will give your hand and your knife's edge flexibility to move. This piece of granite that I'm using now only needs to be 10 centimeters in width. Whether I'm scarving a card pocket for a wallet or I'm scarving a bag, I always scarve on the edge, and a smaller piece of granite, if that's all you can get, will definitely work. This will give your hand the flexibility and movement. This already will be a massive change if you're not doing it at this point. So tip number 2. We've all heard the saying that practice makes perfect. I'm going to change it a little bit and say practicing correctly makes perfect. So get yourself one of your offcut pieces of leather, cut it approximately 2.5 centimeters wide or 1 inch, and then mark lines at a 1 centimeter plus minus 1 centimeter at least, going across that strip of leather. So doing something like this is much better than just random practicing. This is called deliberate practice, and this is practicing a skill that you're trying to master, and doing it with a thinner strip of leather like I've showed you over here. It'll allow you to start to feel what your knife edge feels like to start with, and because it's a smaller piece of leather, it'll help you develop the confidence to work that scarf. And as you get more confident and start to be able to work through these smaller strips, enlarge that strip to 50 millimeters or 2 inches and work the same process. Deliberate practice to master the skill. Tip number 3. This one may seem like the most obvious. It's stropping more consistently. I would so love to be able to give a general guideline of how often you should be stropping, but every piece of leather is different. So sometimes you may be able to scarf sort of 10 centimeters, sometimes it'll be 15 centimeters, sometimes it may only be 5 centimeters of clean scarving, depending on the texture and the grain of the leather that you're trying to scarf. So general rule of thumb is, as soon as you feel your knife's edge starting to dull in any way, put it onto the strop. We have several videos on the channel on how to maintain your edge, how to sharpen it, how to keep it sharp. So go check those out as well if you're struggling. So I'm going to continue scarving all the little bits and pieces on this leather bifold that need to be scarved. Remember again that the full pattern, including an instruction, is available on the website. It's got some nice detailed photographs in that. And I really hope you got some value out of this video. If you did, please give it the thumbs up and remember to subscribe to the channel. In the next video, I'm going to be going over a few finer details of the stitching, and I look forward to seeing you in that next video.